All right. Let's go, guys. We got the big boy, America's finest, who's been smashing it lately. This is Neeb, representing Onside Gaming in the top left side of the map. Teammates with Maru, and for good reason. He is an absolute beast, the best in his continent. Now, he is up against Byun. And guys, you might think this is a bit of a weird build. That's a command center first. Byun has been loving taking this as his natural. This is the first time I've seen him go command center first, though. And look at that single SCV is, excuse me, actually going to be able to mine out those minerals by the time the orbital's done. He's gone a single marine factory and now an engineering bay in the wharf. So he's going to go crazy fast upgrades. Like, what? What the hell is this build? This build is bizarre, guys. Now, there is a Stargate on the way for Neeb. Neeb going for a Nexus at the front, a Stargate, pylon on the backside, all ready to spot. That Adept will be arriving at the front and already +1 weapons. This is a bizarre build. So this must be one of Byun's 2-Rax builds, I think. We'll see a pretty quick second barracks, I think. So he's going starport. He wants to go for the Widow Mine drop, but definitely likely to see that. Now, the Adept can come forward. Can't really do a lot of damage. It only does 10 damage a hit if it's hitting non-light things. Buildings, of course, are not light. They are almost all armored mechanical structure. Depot's on the way. He builds a turret just blind on his natural. I guess Oracle's so predictable here. Okay, wow. So the engineering bay allows him to get a turret as well, covering that expansion. Now, these Marines could come forward. That Stalker, though. Ooh, Stalker does pretty well. He pops 2 Marines on the outside. That's a really nice way of doing it. So that way, you're kind of popping on top of him and really punishing. The Stalker does manage to grab a Marine kill, but he can get back to the high ground. Stalker can't do much else. Now, the Oracle could join up on the front, but he's got Widow Mine spread and Marines and Widow Mines combined will be able to defend here. So very well set up here for Mr. Byun. Big thank you for the subbity sub. I'll mute those alerts, guys. Oh, the Oracle walks over the Widow Mine. Damn. Great start for Byun. This is awesome, man. This is such a fast +1 upgrade. It's so weird, man. So he's gonna, I would like with this fast of an eBay, him to get an armory when he's halfway finished, +1 armor, and just all game non-stop upgrade off 1 engineering bay. I think it's a really cool way to do it. You can actually get to 2-1 so quick, man. All right, guys, we've got probes building. Well, we don't actually have probes building right now, do we? Just 3 gate with a forward gate. He's going to go 4 gate blink aggression. Losing the Oracle's a bummer. It loses him high ground vision, but he wants to just blink across this gap potentially, threaten the front, pick off this reactor. I think he sees that reactor and he says, that's really exposed. I want to kill that. The engineering bay really exposed as well. And with no tanks or anything, that's a big problem. Widow Mine drop went the very far way around. Let's watch Neeb's vision though, guys. That Widow Mine drop is about to cross over his pylon in just a second. 3, 2, 1. No, it's just chilling. Okay, Byun I think came in, saw the pylon, and he's actually pulled back. And he has longer vision than the pylon, so it didn't get spotted yet. Neeb will get vision in just a second, guys. Let's see if Neeb notices this. Uh-oh. Comes in. He's actually busy setting up his blink attack. He does notice, though. He does notice. Good burrow, unburrow micro there. The Widow Mine's not firing just yet. Trying to waste maximum time. Gets 2 probes there. Stalker's blink in the back. Marines are going to try to jump on him. Only a single probe on that Widow Mine. And the Stalkers are going to start blinking back. He's got to keep blinking him back. Neeb, come on. He's microing at home as well. It's so hard to do both at once. He's doing good damage. This is actually really good damage for his Stalkers, but he's got to pull back now, I think, and let those Stalkers regen. Very well played by Neeb. And the Phoenix should shut down the Widow Mine drop. He got 8 SCVs for only 3 probe losses? Really? Wow. Remember, at any point, he can rotate over here, pick off this reactor, that 3rd command center. Oh, if you could get the SCV on that, that would be huge. Right now, we've got Stim and +1 attack. But, I mean, Stim's not ready yet, actually. So these guys are still so vulnerable. I mean, that Phoenix can pick up one of the Marauders, maybe. He does go for that. Oh, the Stalkers, though, are taking a fair bit of damage. Phoenix does go down. And there we go. The Stalkers are going to have to just... Oh, he's just going to go for it. Not a bad way to do it, but oh, man. I think maybe a little indecisive. He gets another Stalker. Can he get out? Can he get out? The Stalkers, are they able to blink back? Some of them are. Some of them aren't. This is a very dicey trade for both sides. Like, it's just kind of chaotic because it's like, well, you're killing a lot of SCVs. You're up 10 workers. You got a 3rd up. This is great for Neeb. But he's also trading Stalkers, which are an incredibly expensive unit. And you've got Stim kicked in. 1-1 upgrade stim. I'd love to see that armory go down, as I was talking about, but obviously he's taking so many SCV losses, he can't afford it right now. But he's got stim bio, combat shields coming in soon. If you could pick off a reactor, that'd be great. Run up here, pick off the reactor, that'd be huge. But I think Byun, he's kind of anticipating this right now. He's got 2 Widow Mines there to punish a blink on the other side, and he loses a Stalker there. Okay, so going up to a solid 8 gateways, or 7 gateways plus the 8th one proxied, double Forge and Robo on the way as well. So I think Neeb, we expect probably double gas out of him, and Colossus tech as well, but he's very gas starved, man. Where's his gases? He's going to be on like nothing but Zealots, Stalkers, and Sentries for a long time. He can't even afford a model production right now. He starts +1 armor, +1 attack. He's waiting for it. Bam, bam, there we go. Surprised he doesn't chrono boost that. Stalker at the front does dodge the Widow Mine shot. Well done. 3rd CC is down for Byun. He's only down 8 workers. He's weathered the storm. That scary blink angle doesn't end up killing him. Armory is now on the way, and a 2nd engineering bay. I told you guys, if he just already had the armory earlier in a cleaner game, he could already have +2 attack finished by now, and then be starting +2 armor well ahead of when he's going to start his 2-2 with this version of the build. So this is something which Terrans just don't think about. They are all dead set, obsessed with going, no, no, no. It's 1 E bay gets 1-1, and then the 2nd engineering bay comes down to start 2-2. I think it's a missed opportunity, and with this build order especially, I think it could be way better off. But of course, he was just looking to utilize that however he could. Fake Warp Prism. I like the fake Warp Prism, guys. And he goes for a Robo Bay, a 4th base. But he needs more gas, man. You can't be going Robo Bay unless you get those gases. Neeb, well aware of that, does drop 2 gases. That's going to take him up to 5 gas geysers. He's got a good Zealot Stalker army roaming around the map. And this 3rd is still a little vulnerable. A lot of Bio and Widow Mines spread up through the main base. And that's the threat of that fake Warp Prism kind of scaring him a little bit. Okay, interesting. Real Warp Prism in the top side. 4 Zealots are there. We've got that army moving south. Widow Mine. Bio moving on. Oh. Get some medevac maybe? Not quite. Not quite. Oh, awkward angle. Get out of there, Neeb. And Neeb does lose a couple units. A couple Marauders go down as well. And that Zealot drop. I mean, if it wants to drop in, it can fly past, or it can drop in the corner and just warp in there is probably the best bet. He's going to try and fly past. It's going to take a lot of damage. This isn't going to do anything. Oh, bad drop. Really bad drop for Neeb. He should have kept flying to the right there. 100%. Big mistake for him to just try and commit like that. He should have just gone up and recalled or moved all the way to the very top right side. Observer at least sees everything out here, so that's pretty good for Neeb. But his Stalkers are very damaged from that earlier pressure. He does bait a stim, which is kind of cute. 1 Observer gets taken out. But definitely costly to be stimming your whole army. He's got plenty of medevac energy. Like, it'll heal up right now, but over time that can get bad. Double Colossus is on the way. No Viagra upgrade just yet. Hasn't started that one. 4th base is looking healthy for Neeb, but that's always an area where you can just get doom dropped and killed. I'd like to see Neeb open those minerals up. I think that would favor him more than it favors the Terran right now. His ability to quickly move up there just with units from the south, not be so recall dependent, would be pretty big. Now, there's 2 Colossus out. He desperately needs those. You can see Byun's getting some fantastic trades, up about 1,200 resources in the units lost. But now that the Colossus are here, that should turn around at least a little. Are the Zealots going too far in front? These Colossus ain't doing jack right now. Those Colossus were not landing hits on anything important. They've got to be getting into the center of the massive bio to really work their splash damage. Ghost coming out now. 2-2 almost finished for Byun, whereas it's just started for Neeb. Neeb is still going through a very dangerous part in the game, and I want to see Disruptors, maybe the Viagra upgrade, the Thermal Lance. He's got only 2 workers on that 4th gas that he just took. 6th gas, sorry. So he's up to 6 gases. He's only on 8 gateways. Losing this puts him down to 7. It's not amazing gateway production for Neeb. He does get a medevac and picks off a few of these units. So it's not a bad little fight. And fighting onto a bridge into Colossus, not something Byun's going to want to do. He has 2 Vikings up there. They're going to come south. Neeb still holding the watchtower and having that observer is big. If Byun gets rid of that observer, it would be really nice. And he barely gets it on the edge of the scan. 5th base going up for Neeb. Double disruptor production's on the way. He's not there yet, though. And remember, still no extended thermal lance. He needs to get those big, thick, juicy beams for those Colossus. It's so powerful against this sort of army. Gets 1 Viking, almost gets a 2nd. So good blink forward, but once again, it does feel like Byun's just taking the better trades. He's just getting more units. He's up 2,000 resources now. The units lost. The Colossus doing what they can. There's only 3 Vikings, but Byun, he tries to spread his army, but kind of hits a cliff there and has to back on off. There we go. Extended Thermal Lance does come in. He realizes he's missing it. Chronos it. Better late than never. He's building an extra gateway, so he's still going to be on 8 gateways, even with that one depowered. And he's got a cannon and a battery on the 5th base. So Neeb's got a pretty decent army, but losing that Warp Prism earlier, really limits his mobility. Imagine if there was a Prism Zealot dropping in the back and really threatening Byun. That would be massive. Instead, it's Byun, who's got a 4th planetary, 2nd starport on a reactor, going up to 8 barracks, which are all going to have tech labs. And his 2/2's finished, remember. So it's just a matter of when he has the money to decide to start 3/3. And there we go. +3 attack starts first. Much more important upgrade than +3 armor. Really well done by him. TT Shrine on the way, as well as 4 more gateways. So Neeb is getting into that later stage. 2/2 versus 2/2 right now. Where's the disruptors? Oh, my lord. Oh, he gets kind of ambushed. But oh, the disruptor from behind comes in from behind and lands a giant hit on Byun's army. But 2 of the Colossus have gone down, and that's huge. 3 Colossus fall. Oh, that's terrible. Neeb is in a huge spot of bother because there's more EMPs here, and his disruptors are all gone, almost all gone. There's only 1 disruptor left there. Oh, I think he needs to throw it. There we go. Good throw on the disruptor shot. He actually takes out the Vikings. I would have liked to see him land that on the on the bio. Neeb way down on supplies, trying to use blink back and battery overcharge to keep the fight going with the Stalkers. More disruptors are rebuilding 2 at a time. This is that situation that I often talk about where I do think a 3rd Robo will give Neeb a little bit more of insurance. But hey, he's hunting this army down reasonably well. Gets a few of these ghosts. Almost misses the Widowmine. Does adjust at the last moment. Gets that ghost. Nice disruptor shot. Oh my lord. That was a big one. Really big shot there. Neeb now up in supply, and Byun, he's got to keep it away, put it back in his pants. He's swapping into the lib production at least a little bit there. Is he though? No, he cancels the libs and builds more medevacs, but he's already got 8 of those. And Byun here forward. There's a Widowmine hiding in the grass there. Byun blinking forward very aggressively, really trying to force these fights on Byun's side of the map and keep it where Byun's still kind of in his corner, I guess. These disruptors coming forward should be able to cover this advance. Byun's trying to chase you down, but nice zoning disruptor shot there. You'll have to throw another or blink on these units. Byun way too ambitious here. And actually, Byun's cornered him. Neeb should have kept running there. He's cornered himself. Oh, he does have another disruptor shot coming up, though. Actually, maybe Byun's chased him too far. Yeah, I think this is going all right for Neeb. Byun has to disengage. The medevac healing is going down. There's no tanks, no libs. The Stalkers blink forward and grab another Marauder or 2. Another disruptor shot goes forward, grabs 2 Marines. Disruptor rally is doing well. Mass Zealot warp in on the bottom side. Even though it's a slow warp in, definitely can reinforce. Another ghost goes down. And these disruptor shots are just non-stop. And because he's permanently stimmed, his medevacs are getting very low. 4 libs are building here for Byun. Oh, Widowmine from behind does all right, but a Marauder gets picked off. Neeb does not seem to have an observer with his army. He's only got none on the map right now. He's building 2 right now. Another Marine gets picked off though. And there we go. Look at these disruptor shots, man. Byun's just permanently stimming and dodging, but Neeb's doing a great job of just keeping him there and picking units off. The units lost time, remember, was in Byun's favor by 2,000. Now it's only 500 in his favor. That 6th base in the bottom is up. It's taking gases as well for Neeb, realizing, hey, 3/3 is going to be useful, but I also am going to need some more stuff as well. He's got a lot of disruptors. Oh, Stalker's kind of walking into the army. All right, Byun gets some nice trades and very sloppy there for our Protoss player Neeb, who's on 21 Stalkers. We've seen a lot more of this mass Stalker disruptor style. Because the Stalkers do range damage, they're very flexible, very microable, that's great, but they are very fragile. When they get EMP'd, they only have 80 hit points. This army can easily defend that angle. Byun will have to move around to the south if he wants to take advantage of this. But gets rid of the sensor tower. Big army on the south. Neeb, how quick is he on his recall? This pylon spots it. If I was Neeb, I'd instantly recall to that. But he's going to try and dive. Oh, I don't know if this is good enough. Those libs are doing an awfully large amount of damage. Does get 1 decent disruptor shot. Finally gets rid of those libs. But man, he's going to lose that bottom base with 26 workers on it. He does recall to this base. Those 26 workers running through the Terran army. Oh no! He's going to lose a bunch of those. Not all of them. Some will escape. Yeah, about 10 workers get out of there. 15, 16 go down. That was not him recalling his whole force, though. That's just some Stalkers, right? He's got Stalker, Zealot, Disruptor coming from all sides. I mean, this is very scary for Byun to stay here. If I was Byun, I'd be flying to that corner of the map right now. Oh, and he does. Okay, he's going to fly to the corner. He's got a lot of dead space he can exit on the north or exit on the right, or just go straight back in the middle and unload. So I think Byun's totally fine. Feels like he's back in the... Yeah, he's up 5,000 resources now in the units lost. So the moment he needed to recall a lot of army to that base, but it's risky because if you're not quick enough, he might stim on top and kill all your disruptors before they get their shots off. So I could see why he didn't do it. A single Void Ray is being built. He wants to chrono that down here just to make sure these drops don't continue to do that. Very good choice, I think. But he's got to round out the army, and that means Colossus right now. Neeb is missing Colossus. He also needs 2 more pylons to make sure he doesn't get supply blocked anymore. But look at this. Byun just hides in the bottom, comes straight back in. Oh, and look at this. Byun, I mean, he may lose the watchtower. He kills the Nexus, though. He's going to stim in on this base. Recall's not ready. And Byun just says 1-2 punch. Stalkers are such a terrible unit at fighting front-on versus stim bio. Disruptors are going to try and come back here. He throws some big balls, lands a big one on the Marauder Ghost, but he's already taking so much damage. The Stalker Disruptor, or Stalker Zealot, sorry, comes in from both sides on this army, but only 4 or 5 of the Stalkers can fight at a time. The bio with the EMP smashes it, and this is a winning split drop positioning for Byun. I've got to ask the question, guys, why did Neeb not back off, get a bit more vision, and start doing Dark Templar backstabs? He was at that point, he was on 6 bases, he had a great economy. We have not seen that DT tech used at all. He got DT Blink, but he overcommitted. He was trying to pin back Byun, and the moment Byun was able to slip half his army out, rely on the Liberator Ghost for defense, it was at that moment where Byun was able to defend with a small section of his army. The other half did massive counter damage. And from there, he's been the one who's, rather than getting pinned back by Disruptor, Zealot, Stalker, he's been picking where and when these fights happen. Big army in the middle of the map does start to bait Neeb forward. Triple Lib Siege comes in and devastates quad Lib Siege the mineral line. 8 probes going down. Neeb reacts pretty fast, but pretty fast against 4 libs still means 8 probes go down. His economy is terribly, terribly wounded. And this feels like an all-in counter thrust for Neeb. His army gets completely EMP'd. He's trying to throw balls out in every direction, but his disruptors are getting focused down. Libs are literally killing observers with splash damage right now. And Byun will win map 1 of this semifinals. All right. Let's go game number 2. We got Neeb in the bottom left side. I think he was in a pretty good spot. I mean, there was a really dangerous moment when he lost the Colossus, but he fought back very well. Great disruptor usage. But got a little bit too focused on pinning his opponent and just didn't notice when Byun slipped out from under his control. I think if he swapped back into some observer production a bit earlier, he might have had a little bit more vision there, and vision so important. Byun opening up with a standard barracks gas opening. No proxies or anything versus Neeb. Neeb's really solid, and if he kind of can shut down an opening and get ahead, he's incredibly scary. So I understand why Byun didn't want to do that. Neeb, I like the way DRG said he's a very stylistic player. Creator said that, sorry, not DRG. I always think it's DRG, it's Creator. At Valencia, it's like, he's really stylistic. So when it goes well, he crushes, but other times he gets crushed. Now, Neeb's not scouting. This is a beautifully greedy opening. He's going to go straight Nexus into core. Now, if you don't scout, you should always go Nexus before Cybercore, because look at this. Notice how he had 400 minerals way before the gate finishes? So even if you go Nexus before Cybercore, you can still start this Cybercore like, what, 1.5 seconds after the gate finishes. So it's almost like going core before Nexus, but you still have the Nexus in there. Just a beautifully greedy opening. He's going to be so happy that Byun is also playing greedy and no scouting, right? And this is common for Byun, is he might scout with a Reaper, but he's not going to SCV scout before that. So Neeb just getting away with some mega greed, and Byun doesn't know. He's like, I could be getting proxied right now because he has no vision. Obviously, Neeb has to have the same sort of thing, but 2 guys, 2 players, 2 StarCraft players, no scouts. Much better than two people with a cup. But yeah, it's a thing. Second factory, or sorry, the factory goes down, the second structure here for Byun. So reactor first into factory means it's not the fastest factory, but he's going to have 4 Marines, 6 Marines out really early. Something you can choose to do with this is go for like a 4 or 6 Marine pressure, put the factory on the reactor, rally 2 Hellions in, or even just rally a single Hellion. And if you manage to like catch the first Adept or something, you can really get out of control. Neeb does go for the Stargate there as well. And it's a good thing. Someone in chat was complaining about Protoss earlier, and they've said now, but I said I need to learn Protoss before I can play them. It doesn't make any sense. I just want to complain about things. Guys, remember in StarCraft, if you guys are being a bit of a whiny bitch, #1 rule, go play the thing that you've been whining about. And you realize it's probably not as strong as you thought. Unless you cannon rush, and then it's just free wins, lol. Adept does get a scout. The Adept doesn't. Okay, 6 Marines. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Very scary. If they catch that Adept, you're in big trouble. Most players would just drop a shield battery, but he doesn't have his pylon up yet, so... Oh, is he going to actually try and do some damage here? Okay. Get an SCV and get out of there, I guess. I mean, he's going to... Oh, recall. Okay, it'll survive, but barely. Oh, man. These 6 Marines, like... I guess an Oracle and 2 Adepts can kill it. It's just that Adept will die so fast, man. I guess with the high ground advantage there, yeah, he gets kind of the first hits off, and The Marines will only get an Adept, so this is a very good trade for Neeb. An Adept for 6 Marines and an SCV. Yes, the Oracle shows itself, but that's awesome for him. Byun is going Cyclone into second barracks. I expect third barracks before Starport as well. This is his favorite anti-Stargate build recently. Cyclone's trying to catch him. Neeb, though, instantly goes over that pillar, breaks the vision, and thereby the lock-on before a single bit of damage gets in. Second Oracle is on the way. We expect a Twilight Council, and then Blink is normally the follow-up from here. However, knowing Neeb, I actually think he might go... Oh, I was going to say, I think he might go for Phoenix and Charge, but he's actually still not going Twilight. He's going to go triple Oracle, and he's going to try and dive on the Cyclone in the main base. And there's a Cyclone and 5 Marines. I still think the Oracles could kill that pretty quick. 2 Oracles will not be able to overwhelm, though. Once you show 2 Oracles, this is actually very safe the way Byun's set up. So he goes in with 1 Oracle, and he's like, oh, okay, hello, what's going on? But he's going to take a lot of damage there. That's rough. Oh! Doesn't get the kill, though. And that costs a scan. That's pretty expensive. Okay, so Neeb is going Twilight now. He's got a battery on his natural and a battery on his third. I feel like Neeb is going to be so worried about this push coming in. He's seen that there's 3 barracks before Starport. He's like, okay, 2 minutes from now, there's like 7 minutes. There's going to be medevacs and a shitload of bio on my doorstep. Okay, how do I deal with this? Well, he can go stasis traps. That's part of it. He could catch this Cyclone. He's hidden the Oracle count pretty well. And, okay, yeah. Look at that. Okay, not bad, not bad. He's going Charge first. As I said, he's worried about the push timing. He doesn't have time to get Blink and then Charge. So he's just going to go heavy on the Charge. He's on 3 gateways, and he's going 1, 2, 3, 4 more gateways. So he's going right up the gateways. Sentries are really good. Force fields here, especially force fields there can be great. Force fields here, 2 force fields almost completely lock that off. Oracles dive the main now that they killed the Cyclone. He sees there's quite a lot of Marines here, but doesn't really get much damage. Still only killed 2 SCVs this game. Oh, and loses an Oracle there. Missile turrets, man. That's 7 range. So good. All right, so it's a mass charge. Now, if Byun just drops the 3rd command center and doesn't overcommit to the push, he'll be very happy. Because the charge composition, it's a very short-term composition. Yes, Neeb has a 3rd base, but you don't want to just attack and get surrounded by 15, 20 zealots. It's a very late forge for Neeb, right? Neeb doesn't have splash damage coming in just yet. Yeah, he's building a robo, but like, dude, he's very zealot committed. So as a Byun fan, you want him to build that Marine count till he's got about 50 Marines. 50 Marines will obliterate pretty much any number of zealots as long as you micro correctly. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's so annoying. That Marine was going out to the left side. Byun's got to be a little pissed off by that. So his move out gets slowed down significantly. The Oracles are just going to keep tagging him, I would imagine. And we've also got a 5 zealot run by that's going to come around this left side and hit the natural. So I think as Neeb, he should definitely not go in just yet. He's clicked that one in, but he's like, wait, that army still hasn't moved out. So, okay, wait for them to move out. Wait for it to get a little deeper on the map, maybe down here, and then you can do it. Byun's pushing that left side. He wants to try and siege push the main. If you can get tanks behind there, it's very hard for the Protoss player to break it. Zealots go in, though. Tank in the open. Oh, nice. Gets a tank. He's attacking the bunker, which is obviously not the greatest. Killing the SCVs is way more effective, and he knows that, so he goes for it. The whole army is being pulled back right now for Byun. Byun is building a 3rd command center on location, but dude, he didn't lose a single zealot. Oh my god, every single zealot survived, all 5 of them. He gets 3 SCVs, a tank, and a Marine or 2. Byun now is going to try and do some drop pressure, but we are already into the Robo Bay tech. So 3 gas Robo Bay. He definitely needs at least a 4th. Gas does Neeb as he goes into Colossus or Disruptors here. And he's out there with his Oracles trying to get some vision. He doesn't really have any observers out, right? No observers at all. So he's got a mass zealot army. I think he needs to send another 10, 15 zealots out ready to do a run by. Because this army is going to be just, it's going to be hard to engage. Oh, he gets 3, 4 SCVs there. The Oracle's doing super nice, man. Bunker, though, causes him trouble. Almost loses his Oracles. Does get them out. Double drop in the back. Oh, Neeb. Doesn't pull his probes at all. I guess it doesn't matter because he's got all the zealots nearby. And the Marines try to stand and fight. But there we go. Only 4 probes go down. Not too bad for Neeb, who's now going for these 2 gas geysers. He's remembering his extended thermal lance, but doesn't have the money for the Colossus, or he didn't earlier. He's got to start that Colossus. I think he maybe thinks it started up, but he actually hasn't. That's a huge mistake. There we go. Chronos the Colossus out now. And I mean, Byun's got a 3rd up. He's only down 8 workers. Neeb's going to have to think about a 4th base. I like the corner base. I think he'll take this one, though, just to be able to control it more from the center. Enhanced Shockwaves is coming in, so that Ghost Academy upgrade. 5 barracks are up for Neeb. For Byun, sorry. I mean, Byun's got a very good bio army, but he has no artillery. No Widow Mines for Harass just yet. He's only now building his first 2. And he's only got 1 tank, which he's just keeping in a very conservative defensive position on his natural. I do like that there's hallucinations and oracles trying to scout everywhere. And Neeb, will he notice this? I don't know if he notices that, because unless he looks over there. Okay, he sees it. He sees that army there. He should be tagging it. Very good tag. Sees where the army is. His own hallucinations are going through. He's setting up a giant zealot flank right now by the looks of it. And I think he could jump on this army. Neeb has a 30-40 army supply lead. Oh my god. Zealot's coming in from behind. Nowhere to go. He can't even save all the bio. Oh, this is a disaster for Byun. Now, of course, Neeb doesn't have blink. Otherwise, he'd be able to kill 1 or 2 medevacs full there as well. Medevac on the right side running home. This is a very bad situation to be in for Byun right now. Neeb takes a 4th base. He's got a 2nd forge starting up. His +1 armor's almost done. Blink is almost ready as well. That medevac gets caught there by the non-blink stalkers. I mean, Byun's just a bit too far behind by the looks of it. Yeah, and he's lost so much bio on that move out. Neeb gets that economic advantage. He stays on a very low tier tech of just a handful of sentries. Zealots, non-blink stalkers, 1 single immortal. Adds a Colossus in though. He's got a 2nd Colossus about to pop. DT Shrine is coming in. And he's up at 70 workers versus 65, which with his army supply lead is more than enough. I mean, he's already got such a big army. And the upgrades will be even with +1 armor finishing in about 20 seconds. Ooh. Wait, did he just cancel +1 up? Oh no! Byun just misclicked and canceled +1 and then instantly restarted it, guys. Oh, that is nasty. Ouch, 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 ouch. Big mistake for Byun there. Oh! Neeb wanted to take the force fields there. He's going to try and shove across a ramp. This is a crazy angle for Neeb to fight on. I think it's just because his Colossus are getting such good engages. He's like, hey, why not? I think I got the numbers, and your guys are super clumped as well. Oh my god, that Widow Mine killed like 3 sentries. Oracle's going to tag these, and all those Widow Mines will go down. That's about 12 supply going down. And the Colossus just unanswered. The tank on the left side will fall. Disruptor gets a bit far forward, does get sniped down. Good micro by Byun, but these Marines are so fragile. Ghost coming in and walking to their doom. And he's just outgunned, outnumbered Neeb. Really doing fantastic. I think the Oracle opening, finding damage with the Adepts, cleaning up those early 6 Marines so he wasn't really scared of anything, getting the Cyclone, Stasis Trap slowing down the move out, having complete vision of everything. Felt like Byun was 2 steps behind from relatively early, and then it was 3 steps, then it was 4 steps. Gets overrun in game 2. All right. Let's go game number 3. We got Neeb in the top right side. I do think it's kind of, you know, just dominating the way he did that last game. And he was kind of controlling game 1 in a similar fashion, but this man wriggled his way out of trouble, didn't he? Byun in the bottom left side of the map, going for a forward proxy barracks. Remember that Neeb did not scout in that last game, so looks like Byun wants to punish that, but actually Neeb is scouting for engineering bay block. That's what he's looking for right now. So he's coming down because about 1 minute to 1:10 is when the eBay block goes down. Checks for the barracks there as well. Says, okay, cool, I'll just return these minerals, then come back down to build the Nexus. Once again, no scout, which means that Reaper could definitely do some significant damage. 2nd gas is finishing up here for Byun. But if this is fully walled off, I guess the Reaper, I don't think it can jump there, so I think it has to run all the way in the front. Can it jump here? I don't think it can jump there. I think it's blocked on the low ground by all those seaweed and things. So anyways, Reaper starts at 1:26. Very crisp Reaper. Okay, we got the Cybercore going down pre-Nexus. Neeb playing very safe there. Remember I said if you don't scout, you don't really need to get Cybercore before Nexus. But because he sent a probe to go look around and stuff, he's like, no, I want to be super safe. So that'll allow him to chrono and adept very, very fast. Bunker's going to get up no matter what, though, and that's an issue unless Neeb scouts it. Oh, Neeb, he's watching. Very well done by him. He brings a 2nd probe down as well. If he can kill the SCV, that'd be huge. It all depends where the SCV builds. That probe can get it from here. This probe he keeps on the opposite side for when that SCV inevitably floats away. Oh, it gets blocked from actually hopping back on. Now, the Reaper's almost here, so these probes need to go back in the base. He's going to leave 1 probe down there. And almost gets the kill. Oh, it gets it! Great micro by Neeb there. Gets that kill. And it's a Stalker first. He was like, hey, if the bunker gets up, I'm going to want a Stalker here. Oh, good micro on that probe. That means the Reaper will go down. Okay, 2 probes for an SCV and a Reaper. I think Neeb is very happy with this opening because it shuts down the aggression. And now Byun's like, okay, let's start a command center. And he's going to have to go a Cyclone to cover the CC. Stalker coming across. You got to be wary because if the Stalker gets killed by the Cyclone, you're screwed. I think the Stalker's going to have about 6 seconds in here on its own before the Cyclone's out. So it should be able to pick off the SCV and then recall home. But if you lose the Stalker just to delay the command center by a second or two, not the best. Now, Stargate is on the way. That's going to give Neeb 100% vision of what's going on. As I said, about 6 seconds if Neeb chooses to poke on in. Maybe 10 seconds. Oh, he's cautious. He's worried about there being a Widow Mine. But there was no Widow Mine. Does he have recall, though? That's the big question. He does have recall energy. He's got 50 energy. Gets that SCV. He's going to need to leave. If he doesn't recall, it's dead. And he needs to recall, like, right now, guys. Ah! Instant recall. Oh, wow. He was looking for it. He was aware that this might happen. He recalls it. Gets the Stalker out. 2 Stalkers at home. Phoenix on the way. Delays the command center by a good 10-15 seconds. Now, Byun is going to go for the 3 racks behind it. He loves doing this for Stargate, but once again, 2 games in a row, he's kind of behind from the opening. And I am so afraid. If Neeb gets ahead in your games, he really knows how to lean into that. He's like, oh, cool, I got ahead. Now I'm going to get a little bit more ahead, and then I'm just going to pile the pressure on, and it's oppressive. It's very hard to deal with. Only 1 Phoenix so far, so very quick Twilight, 2nd and 3rd gate. I mean, that's all nice, but where is the extra Phoenix? Definitely needs to keep that Phoenix production up, guys. I do think that's a bit of a mistake here for Neeb to only have a single one. And he's actually planning a blink attack? Is that what this is? Oh! He's just going for a single Phoenix. Oh, so he's just going to scout with 1 Phoenix and then do a blink attack. And you know what? It's a great map for blink attack, and Cyclones kind of suck. Neeb gets locked on by a single one, gets out of there, breaks the vision. Very quick response by Neeb. And double Cyclone is just not that good versus Blink Stalker. Now, he's not going to have a Warp Prism, so the weakness here is if you blink in, he locks on and just doesn't get the Cyclones killed. He'll kill 2 Stalkers probably with that, unless you get into, say, the Shadow here where he doesn't see. If you have a Warp Prism, it's really bad because you blink in, they lock on. You just pick up the 2 Stalkers that are locked with the Warp Prism and then drop them down again. Now, Neeb can't do that. Neeb is going for the mixed aggression. It's 4-gate blink plus a 3rd base, and the Phoenix can pick up one of these Cyclones, spot the high ground. There's no tanks building, no bunker, though. I mean, Byun feels safe because he's like, well, I'm building a lot of units. Of course I'm solid. I'm in a good spot, man. You're building multiple Phoenix. Normally, you go Oracle into blink. You don't go Phoenix into blink. I actually think if Neeb doubled down on this, he would have done really well. But you can see that he's actually backing out of it. He's probing. He's building a battery. He's like, dude, why would I attack into a guy who's just pumping units? Like, his economy is so far behind. Remember, his command center was so delayed. It was already going to be delayed because he did a proxy barracks into factory. But then I killed the SCV with my Stalker. This is not a very beefy setup. He's like, dude, I feel good about this. Now, he is actually still coming across the map. So he's still thinking about finding the damage. And yeah, even just picking off that could be huge. So he comes forward. Cyclones, if they want to come forward and do some damage, they can. But by killing the depot, it breaks the vision. So that's kind of one of the things that goes on there. The Marines, no bunker on the natural. So the Stalkers can kind of just dance right now. Stim is finished. But if you stim, he will just disengage. Oh, Byun with a very late stim. Neeb just runs away. This is very good for Neeb. I mean, Neeb is definitely going to be winning this trade. And the medevacs have only just started right now for Byun. Byun's going to try and control the high ground. So he's like, hey, if you stumble me onto the high ground, maybe I can like initiate on you, stim on your face. But look at the way Neeb keeps scouting with the Phoenix. So he's never surprised. Now, he does lose the Phoenix, a little sloppy from Neeb. He's going charge and he's up on workers though. And Neeb is posturing like he's about to super hard commit. But what he's actually doing is kind of fainting because +1 attack, charges on the way. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gateways up behind this, which is fantastic. Plus the 8th one on the front, right? So 8 gateways actually, never mind. So 8-gate charge, +1 attack as well. Neeb, he moves forward again. Does lose a Stalker that time. It's a lot of Stalkers that he has. And this Adept sees the 4th and 5th barracks. And that he's like, yeah, that's pre-3CC, man. That's very early 4th and 5th barracks. Like, you're kind of all in, aren't you? Byun's going to lose 2 SCVs to this Adept. So that Adept, a useless unit at this stage, happy to trade out. The Stalkers recall home. Oh, just in time. He senses it. He's like, oh, shit, man. I could be getting dropped. And oh my god, Neeb! Neeb! Oh, he gets one of the medevacs and a bunch of Marines from the other medevac as well. Doesn't lose a single Stalker. I actually think he could have got both if he reacted a little quicker there. But Byun, man. Oh, damn. He's getting hammered right now. It feels like Neeb is just getting too much information. And he's also playing these styles that are a little off meta, like single Phoenix into Blink. I mean, it's a really cool way to play. He's just like, yeah. Byun has been countering Protoss players by going for the Cyclone 3-rack so regularly. And a lot of the Protoss players just continue with their normal build. But Neeb is such a cerebral player. He's been having so much fun with the game. You can tell he's been thinking about it. And he's like, dude, if you're going to play like that, I've got some special styles. I can adapt. I'm not going to just build 4 Phoenix and then do no damage and be behind. I build 1 Phoenix and go straight blink. It's all good, man. Stalker's blinking in the main. Okay, so he's worried about the elevate to the main base. Justifiably so. Oh, got to be careful of these Widow Mines. These Widow Mines are very scary. He baits one and blinks back. Force fields aren't really landing, but he baits those Widow Mines onto just individual Zealots, essentially. And this army is getting double stimmed and soon to be triple stimmed if he stims again after this as well. These Stalkers here really just picking off units, and I think he can jump on top. Neeb's going to go for it. Neeb going to jump on top. Does take one nasty Widow Mine on the left side of the Zealots, but the Stalkers are focusing down the Medivacs to make sure there's no escape. And as he shuts down that army, Byun all in on 2 base. Gets knocked out of this tournament. Bloody well played by Neeb. And he's going to go to the grand finals versus Dark.